After nearly 5 years of waiting now, we finally have the second generation AirTag. First, we'll just do a quick unboxing of the AirTag. So it's very small, we'll get through it pretty quickly anyway. Have a little bit of ASMR. We'll just pull everything out of the box, of course. Comes with a lot of paperwork, as well as the device itself, the AirTag itself. Boom, and there it is. And then you have the last pull just to activate it. After pulling the strip, you get a prompt to set up the device itself, as it is an Apple product, and you can just start with the setup of the device. It's very easy to choose where you want this AirTag to be placed. So for example, a backpack, bike, camera, whatever it might be attached to. So in my case, I'm probably going to use it for a backpack anyway. The battery actually comes pre-installed within the AirTag, so you don't have to go and buy another battery for it to fit in. So that's also great. You can just use it straight out of the box. I've actually been using an AirTag now for the past 3 years. It's always a great thing to have, especially when you think you have lost something, but actually it's very close to you. So for example, I used the old one and it's actually in a OtterBox keychain. So just something to protect the actual AirTag itself from. The original one has actually come out nearly 5 years ago now. So it's about time that Apple actually decided to bring a new AirTag out. So I just quickly wanted to go over the differences really between the new one and the old one and let you guys know if it's actually worth getting or not, or if it's worth upgrading to. So the setup is very easy. It's just a pop-up that comes up on your Apple device. You just click connect, go through the whole setup process with connecting it to your Apple ID, and just like that, your new AirTag has been activated. The setup is exactly the same as the old one, and whatever you want to connect this AirTag to, which will then enable you to track that specific thing itself. I actually want to do a couple of tests between the old one and the new one, just to see if the differences are what they are. So the first test I really want to do is that theoretically the new one should be 50% louder than the old one. So I do want to try and test that out and see what that sounds like. Ooh. Wow. Okay, it's definitely way louder. Still going. You can definitely notice a way bigger difference. I think more because it's just a higher pitch. It's a completely different sound to what the first generation was like. It is definitely louder and you'll be able to hear it way easier if it's further away from you. And I think that higher pitch just helps with hearing it even further than it would. Overall, the form factor is exactly the same and all the accessories between them work. So the Gen 1 ones and all the accessories built around the Gen 1 AirTags should work with the Gen 2 AirTags, especially if you own a lot of Gen 1 AirTags and you just need to use those accessories in the future, then that's perfect. The new AirTag also has the new ultra wideband chip, so the second generation of it. This helps improve it by adding another 50% of range. So meaning you can be 50% further away and you'll still be able to use that Find My feature by locating it with your phone to be able to find the device itself. For the finding range, this is because the Bluetooth is just way stronger, meaning that it extends the range at where a device like an Apple Watch or the iPhone now can locate that device itself. The precision finding that you see on the iPhone has now come to the Apple Watch. So that's an even greater way of trying to find your lost items, is instead of doing it through the phone, if you don't have your phone or if it's charging somewhere, you can just use your Apple Watch instead. Another feature where they've added, which I think they've added to both AirTags now, so the second one and the first one, is that you can help airlines find your lost luggage. So if you do end up having the AirTag in your luggage and use it for that circumstance, then you're able to share that information with the airline. So it's a lot easier for them to track where the AirTag is. It's helped save a lot of losses of the luggage itself and just made it way quicker for them to find the actual luggage from wherever they find it from. As mentioned before, the size actually hasn't changed at all, and all the accessories from the Gen 1 fit on the Gen 2 version. This means that it also uses the same battery as the Gen 1 one as well, but the battery life will last you roughly a year or so, and then you would have to swap the battery again. Personally, what I would have preferred, seeing that they have the charging puck for the watch, I think it would have been a lot cooler if you could just place it onto the charging puck of the Apple Watch, and then you could just recharge it itself. Of course, maybe for a long time duration, if the battery degrades, then it would be a shame to throw it away, and it is cool to have them disposable. But at the same time, using disposable batteries is also just not great in general. I think a charging system would have been cool, especially if you could use the Apple Watch charger with it. And also after using it then a year, you just place it on the charger for 2 hours and then it's charged for a year again. So that would make it really awesome and just way more flexible. Of course, for this to work, you do need to be on the latest iOS, iOS 26.2.1. This enables you to be able to use the AirTag 2 with the watch or the iPhone. Luckily, the price hasn't changed on these, so these still go for 35 euro here, and for a pack of 4, they go for 129 euros. It's great that they haven't increased the price, especially adding a new feature as well as just improving on the product itself. It's fantastic to have. I wouldn't say just because these are easier to find or sound a bit louder that you should go right ahead and replace all of the first generation ones. The first generation ones are still great, especially if you've lost something within your house or relatively close by, then it's fantastic. But of course, they still both have that feature that if you do lose it and you're kilometers away, that you still know where it is in the world by using different phones from other people. They're both still fantastic devices, and I wouldn't run around and replace all of your Gen 1 ones just because your Gen 2 ones are out. If you need one, then I would say go and get one. But apart from that, the Gen 1s are also fantastic device to use. Thank you for watching my little introduction / comparison for the AirTag 2s compared to the AirTags 1 and just my first impression about the device in general. If you've enjoyed the video, then please go and give it a like, maybe even a comment about how your Gen 1s are holding up and if you're excited for the Gen 2s. And also consider subscribing, as I'm going to be doing a lot more content on Apple devices itself, and also maybe a couple more tests on the AirTags themselves, as I'm quite interested in it. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.